Welcome back to another episode of Azuro Reacts. I'm your boy Azuro, and today we just gonna go ahead and hop right back into what we left off on. It's Tamaria. It's weird pronouncing that, but yeah, Tamaria. America before it was America. Let's just go ahead and get back into these videos.
This is a message to all my gods and goddesses and all other beings on this planet. Do not fear them bombing America, because the land itself is sacred. This is not just a country. It's a part of Earth's original grid, and that grid is protected. The government, Iran, all of that stuff that's going on, it's just a fear tactic. It's psychological warfare. They want to disrupt your frequency and keep you in fear, and also at a low vibration. Yes, they are bombing, killing innocent children and adults, but that's what this system is designed to do, unfortunately. But we are in times where we are crumbling this system. Do not live in fear, y'all.
Now get on in here, America. Now don't this look like one of them Tesla trucks? Elon Musk, what the hell going on here? If y'all didn't know, before Henry Ford, it was a man of color that ran the whole car distribution industry in America. Now the big question is, Elon Musk, where the hell you get this image from? How did you come up with this idea, Eli? Y'all see I say lie, Eli. Now they got these trucks out right now with all this technology in it. You can't even get one. You gotta put in a special order to get it and wait hella long to get it. Now come on now, Eli. Where did you get these blueprints from, Eli? Where did you get these blueprints from, Eli? Cause this right here is the first Tesla truck. And I mean the old one too. This from the 1500s right here. Look like 1600s damn near. And yes, America, we've been straight. I told y'all before, we ain't jump out no bush. Now come on now, I need all y'all chose to come out on this one right now. Goddammit, what the hell going on here, Elon Musk? I wonder how much one of these whips costed back in the day. And I'm gonna tell y'all again, ain't nothing new up under the sun. That thing look like CJ32, ready for a rap, don't it? So yes, America, this is the first Tesla truck without the technology. Or did it happen? So big shout out to Elon Musk for coming up with this vehicle. Elon Musk, you did a great job on this one. Elon Musk, we can't appreciate you more than what you done for the world. All of that new technology you done came up with. You joking, right? You really joking, right?
Thanks for watching this video. It's for entertainment only. But if you know, you know.
Man, get in here. Boy, get your tea ready. Get your tea ready right now. I got an exclusive video of this Bibleologist and Egyptology talks about America is original Holy Land in the Bible. And the interview, you can tell, was like in the 1960s. But listen, in this interview, the way he explains it and he breaks it down. And if you thought you were stupid, this video confirms that the Israelites is us. We slaving in Egypt right now. Play the video.
You say that this is the Garden of Eden. There it is.
I think you're about in the center of the garden, north and south. The Garden of Eden, east and west, is not over 10 miles wide, paralleling the river from Chattahoochee down to Bristol, but you're right in the center of it here, Torrey State Park, north and south, between Chattahoochee and Bristol.
Well, now, according to the Bible, the Garden of Eden must have trees pleasant to the sight, and it must have gold and onyx stone and a river of four heads. Is this one of the rivers?
This is the Pison River, which is mentioned in the second chapter of Genesis, when it says, a river went out of Eden to water the garden and parted and became into four heads. The tree life from Chattahoochee to Bristol is the largest of any other area in the world. The Bible names 28 trees. The best authority on earth have identified 27 of them here, and many more, including the gopherwood tree. The Bible names those four river heads as the Pison, the Gihon, the Hiddekel, and the Euphrates. The first one was the Pison. The Bible says that is it that compasses the land of Havilah, which was North Florida before the flood, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is G-O-O-D. The Bible used that adjective to describe the North Florida gold to further tie down the exact location of the Garden of Eden. The next verse says there's also bdellium there, which is nothing but rosin out of pine trees that God instructed Noah to pitch the ark out of, and onyx stone, which is marble. And North Georgia, right where this great river has its source, is one of the largest marble areas in the world. The Tate Marble Quarry Company there, Tate, Georgia, is one of the largest. So the natural monuments, definitely mentioned and described in the Bible as being related to the Garden of Eden, are here, and they are not anywhere else on this earth.
Well, not only are we sitting in the Garden of Eden, but we're also sitting in an area where you say Noah built the ark.
Noah built the ark out of gopher wood, which God selected himself for him to build it out of.
Is this the only place that you know of?
This is the only place on this earth where it has ever grown. It's the most peculiar wood on earth. You can take a piece of it the size of this match when it's green. You can't break it. You can twist it and turn it. It's the lightest wood on earth. I have had its fibers, its structure, its every phase of it chemically analyzed. There's no other wood on earth like it. It's the lightest. And Noah built the ark out of wood not very far from where you and I are sitting here at Torrey State Park. It was loaded, and then it floated 5 months and landed on Mount Ayr, where we know definitely that it's now embedded in the ice.
Now, there are four rivers that are necessary for the Garden of Eden. What are the four rivers
The
here?
river went out of Eden to water the garden, says the second chapter of Genesis, and it parted and became into four heads. The Pison, the Gison, the Hyddekel, and the Euphrates. That is the only four-head river system on this earth. When the idea or the notion or the belief that the Garden of Eden was somewhere else.
100 years later, the Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. Now, have you ever wondered what that passage meant from Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech? I did, and what I found was one of the biggest secrets that's not really a secret at all, except to many African Americans, is they are not descended from Africans. I know, I was shocked too, so much so that I asked Africans, and they agreed African Americans weren't Africans. If you don't believe me, Google Arnaldus Montanus America and see the people he saw in 1671. Read books like The Black American Handbook for Survival through the 21st Century by Radine Amin-Ra, What Every African American Should Know by Carrie Davis, and Africans and Native Americans by Jack Forbes. I just can't believe schools aren't teaching this stuff. What a travesty.
This is how you know it was us first, because before it was considered reservations. What were they called? Concentration camps. Before concentration camps, they were called public labor camps.
Labor camp.
Did we see any Native Americans go through so-called slavery? Because that's the land that they're talking about. Were they on the plantations? No. These people are brand new. They just got here. And you can't trace Native American to American Indian by way of paperwork. That's a brand new term that just started in the 1970s. I put that out there too. The first time that you heard the term Native American was from the Native American Party, the Know Nothings, the third largest political party during the time period of the Federalists and the Whigs. They were fighting for rights then, as foreigners. So that's why I tell people to stop calling yourself Native, because that has nothing to do with you. You're indigenous to this land. You're not a visitor.
Common sense is at an all-time low, and denial is a motherfucker. That's why I'm going to present you with the facts and expect you to do the heavy lifting with your critical thinking. First and foremost, the Mississippi River is the true Nile. In Isaiah 11:15, it says, "And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the seven streams, and make men go over dry shod." That's what it says. The Nile does not do this. But you know what does? The Mississippi. Second point, the Mississippi still runs through the ancient cities that it ran through in the beginning of time: Thebes, Cairo, and Memphis. You have been made to believe that we named our cities after modern day Egypt, when in fact that is not true. Modern day Egypt named its cities after our cities in ancient America, which is also ancient Egypt. And before this video gets too long, I'm just gonna add in a final point. Did you know that the Americas have more pyramids than the entire planet combined? Yeah. We'll get into the Grand Canyon on the next video.
But hold on, the Mississippi River mirrors the Nile, and major pyramid sites are lined up along its flow, just like in ancient Egypt. But instead of Kemet, it was called Tamari or Tamari, the original names of Egypt, which literally means beloved land or land of the soul. Our ancestors, the Lemurians, the Mers, the Olmecs, the Washita, the mound builders were the original Egyptians. They were descendants of the Anunnaki, the Neteru, the Elohim, divine beings who came to earth to uplift humanity. And they chose America as the foundation. They flipped the maps. They rewrote the books. But the energy never lies. If you ever felt the pull, the calling, the visions, now you know why. I break all of this down in my new book, Anunnaki Bloodline Awakening, the keys to your starseed heritage. Get it now on Amazon and unlock your DNA. America is the real ancient Egypt. The pyramids never left. We did. But now, we're waking up, and the ancestors are proud. What do you think? Do you think America is the real ancient Egypt? Is it all just a coincidence? Put in the comments, let me know.
So the African map is upside down, and it might seem like a small issue, but it is not. This is how our ancestors used to view the map. And this is how the white man's education has taught us to view the map. Now, why?
So if today's East was ancient West, and today's West was ancient East, then ancient Kemet, Egypt, and Jerusalem.
I was talking to this pastor, and this pastor was like, y'all young people is finding out the secret. And I asked him, what secret is he talking about? He said, yes, America is Egypt. He was like, that's what the Seminole War was about, the Louisiana Purchase was about. And he was like, look up this map. It's called Tamari. And he said, y'all, it's Tamarikins. So I went to look up at the map, right? And I was amazed he was right. He was like, that's y'all true nationality. And he was like, when the Seminole War broke out, that's when they won and they took over America and started calling them Americans, and they spelled it different. And the Bible is based upon y'all. All pastors know this, Freemasonry know this, everybody know this.
Pyramid on the Nile in Northeast Africa doesn't have stair steps going up it. It doesn't have temples on top of its summits. They could not go and break through the moat on the temples atop those great pyramids. There are none there. And that was the clue that Egypt was writing about the Americas. And the deeper I got into the records, the clearer it got. They started actually saying, and because Amun loved that land so much, he said it's his beloved land, and that word was Mary, the beloved. Mary, M-E-R-I, Mary. And the land, of course, as before, is Ta, the beloved land, Ta-Mary. And they kept that name and just put the Ta on the end of it. So Ta-Mary became a Mary Ta. We simply say America. We kept the name that Egypt gave to the Americas. So that was the big mystery behind that $10 million map that Martin Walsmuller made and then put the name America on it in 1507. And then those who knew and those who were trying to hide things said, wait a minute, you can't put that name on here. And the next time he reprinted that map, it was off, it was gone. Because that's the name that Egypt had given the land.
Now you know your national.
Since the Native Americans are so smart and you got your fucking degrees, when I lift the veil, I want you to tell me who this is behind my head. Are you ready? I need all of my indigenous, all of my Moors, all of my Muslims, hell, even the Africans. I need the Freemasons, I need the Eastern Stars, even the colonizers to get in the comments and tell me who this is depicted in this picture. I posted a video stating that the term black was not always due to a darker skin tone. I further proved my point by stating that ancient and modern Caucasoid populations were thus not exclusively white. Now I'm going to give you one more look at this picture. Does he look familiar now? Tell me, who is he? Get in the comments. If the term white has always been due to a white skin tone, then why is this man, who according to documentation was born in Africa, depicted as a Caucasian man? Moreover, what's this sun behind his head? I cannot wait to get into Ptolemy Caesarian.
Civilization in the West is older than any other place on the planet. Yes, older than Africa. I'll say that one more time. Civilization. I can't tell you. I'm not arguing where humans started at. Because there was no Africa and there was no America. Those are terms applied now to places that did not have those terms in the past. But what I am telling you is the out of Africa theory is fraudulent. Right? Africa became what's called a genetic bottleneck. You know what a genetic bottleneck is? Just imagine this. We had a big catastrophe in the West Coast, earthquake, destroyed all the civilization, and then we all migrated south and went, let's say, to Trinidad and Tobago, Colombia, Guyana, and we restarted civilization from there, but we were originally from here. But some stuff got messed up. Over years and years and years after that, people might think that we're from Guyana because we moved. But then they start discovering older stuff in those other places more advanced. Like, oh, okay. So what I'm saying is the markers of civilization, the most ancient ones, are here in the West. This is what I'm saying. And all of us did not get to North America as a result of a slave trade. Some of our ancestry did, but that is not the predominant part of it. And there's a whole missing link that does not discuss the black indigenous history, our people being here before not only Europeans, but before the common people who are called Native Americans. Because they are not the descendants of the people who made this calendar that I'm talking about as the oldest in the Western Hemisphere. They are not the descendants. The oldest genetics on the earth was found in the Western Hemisphere and in my home state, South Carolina. And the genetic haplogroup that was present did not match the A haplogroups in Africa perfectly. It had markers on it that were not present on the ones in Africa. Yeah, they were black. So I'm not saying we're black, but they weren't us. They had ceased being us a long, long time ago. And for those that know, they know. They have. They came in and they caught us off guard. They came in the lower Kemet. And when the defenses were down, they took over. You know what I'm saying? This is just a reality. We got here, took our first hit, and they did what they do. They did what they do best. They started to imitate us. They became pharaohs in that region. And for 400 years, they enslaved the African Hebrews that were in that region. They had been contributing to Kemet with their sciences and their knowledge and their art. And they took these African Hebrews that were in lower Kemet, what we now call Israel, and they marched a lot of them to Babylon. They marched them to Babylon, enslaved them, and forced them to divulge their knowledge, their science, their art, and they took that knowledge and they used it to genetically alter creatures. Some of the first, you know what I'm saying, genetic research was going on. They were creating humanoids. They wanted to live forever. They wanted to create vessels that they could transfer into and live forever. This is how crazy they were. And so, Tahaka and Upper Nubia, forms an army of 150,000 Africans from 7 different nations. And they go on a warpath. They're taking out everything that is not African. Everything that came from an Afro must go. Plus, they're coming to get the Hebrews. These are their brothers. Through blood. You understand me? So they begin to take these Assyrians, they begin to take them out. All the way up to what we call Lebanon. And when Tahaka gets up to this region, he realizes, damn, his troops start talking about seeing these giants, these hairy giants, half men, half beasts, that they're fighting up in these mountains, Assyria. Some 10 feet tall, smell so bad you can smell down a half mile away. He tells to who? To build a wall. You think the Great Wall of China was mighty? They built this wall, knowing that this wall could block these beasts from ever entering the Holy Lands again. They would have to take the Arabian Desert, so the legend goes.
Did you know
notice, the further back you go, I'm talking about America here. I'm not talking about no other place. Here in the United States. The further you go back, you realize that your people was doing better. Now, what I mean by that, did you guys ever heard about Haiti? Haiti? There's Haiti, then Haiti. Did you know since 1806, it was a lot of our American tribe members was moving to Haiti? Because our ancestors, our Haitian ancestors know we were one tribe. Matter of fact, when they pushed the British out, when they pushed the Spaniards out, when they pushed the French out, they know that every tribe member can't come in and out to our land because this was one land. That here in America, we know that we are tied by the Mississippian bloodline. We are one. And this is why they told you if you are a black American here, Haiti, you have free land in Haiti. And this is why they were giving them money. We have our own bank. We were funded our money to these people here. Did you know after the 1805 to 1806 that a lot of black Americans received grant and money from Haitian banks? When they come back to the state here in America, they create a little area called Haiti. They create a little area called Haiti. Not fucking Africa. They call it Haiti. And did you know the same little area they call Haiti? That's what it ended up becoming. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let me say this again. Did you know this little area they call Haiti becomes Tulsa, Oklahoma? This was our greatest move since they destroyed the last great movement in American soil. Why they don't call it freaking African? Why they don't call it an African nation? They call it Haiti. Because Haiti means we are the same people from our land. We are the ancient indigenous ancestors. So we all vibrate on indigenous consciousness. Let me say this again. They don't call it Africa. They don't call it any other. They call it Haiti. Why? Because Haiti is the original name of the goddamn land. This was not changed by the foreigners. That means this is indigenous name. So we all operate on indigenous consciousness.
Secret. And I asked him, what secret is he talking about? He said, yes, America is Egypt. He was like, that's what the Seminole War was about, the Louisiana Purchase was about. And he was like, look up this map. It's called Tamari. And he said, y'all, it's Tamarikins. So I went to look up at the map, right? And I was amazed he was right. He was like, that's y'all true nationality. And he was like, when the Seminole War broke out, that's when they won and they took over America and started calling them Americans, and they spelt it different. And the Bible is based upon y'all. All pastors know this, Freemasonry know this, everybody know this.
Pyramid on the Nile in Northeast Africa doesn't have stair steps going up it. It doesn't have temples on top of its summits. They could not go and break through the boat on the temples atop those great pyramids. There are none there. And that was the clue that Egypt was writing about the Americas. And the deeper I got into the records, the clearer it got. They started actually saying, and because Amun loved that land so much, he said it's his beloved land, and that word was Mary, the beloved. Mary, M-E-R-I, Mary. And the land, of course, as before, is Ta, the beloved land, Ta-Mary. And they kept that name and just put the Ta on the end of it. So Ta-Mary became a Mary-Ta. We simply say America. We kept the name that Egypt gave to the Americas. So that was the big mystery behind that $10 million map that Martin Waldseemüller made and then put the name America on it in 1507. And then those who knew and those who were trying to hide things said, wait a minute, you can't put that name on here. And the next time he reprinted that map, it was off. It was gone. Because that's the name that Egypt had given the land.
Now you know your name.
Alright, this speech is going to be called The 13 Bloodlines They Couldn't Kill. For the lost tribes, the crowned children, and the return of the harmonic kings. Let me tell you a secret they buried beneath your birth certificate. There were 13 bloodlines in the land they now call America. Not 1, not 5, 13. Not native, not Negro. Is that a wasp? Yes, that's a wasp. Not freedmen's, Indians, Moors, or any of the boxed up names they gave you after they raped your sky and burned your cities. I'm talking about the crowned tribes of the spiral, the harmonic engineers of time, the melanin mathematicians of the earth, the grid builders, the temple walkers, the storm talkers. 13 tribes, 13 fields, 13 gates. Each one carried a piece of the resurrection. Each one was a living equation of spirit, stone, salt, breath, and collapse. The Tarikan, kings they tried to rename as the Tartarian. The Anuka, womb priest from the Gulf, encoded in blood. They ended up taking ass over there to Africa and shit, and becoming the Anu tribe and traveling through West Africa, up the Nile, into the Levant and the Naki. The Shakima, serpent lords of the forest grid. The Yanuki, island breathwalkers with wind in their bones. The Kumara, fire-coated stonemasons of the southwest flame. The Zapani, the runners of collapse, speedwalking time. The Mari Kushi, saltwater mothers and echo keepers of the Caribbean spiral. The Atlamaru, those who held Atlantis inside their bloodstream. The Jejua, North Temple sealers guarding the lakes. The Sarumi, black ice walkers who coated the Pacific grid. The Kosana, pole stargazers who saw before time break. The Shalatum, dreamwalkers of the womblands who held the cry. The Orunto, rebirth operators who cracked the seal from Panama to the Andes. But what did they do? They erased the names, rerouted the rivers, built churches on top of the field sites, on top of the mound sites, labeled our field tech myths, reclassified harmonic tribes as runaways, took the breath-coated kings and labeled them slaves. You see what happened? So they couldn't kill the bloodlines. They hit them. You ever wonder why you feel royal and homeless at the same time? Why you hear music in your chest but can't find your tribe? Because your tribe got renamed. Your crown got buried. Your temple got turned into a Walmart. And your soul's been screaming through your skin ever since. But here's the twist. We remember. We remember without maps. We remember in spiral form. We remember in our dreams, in the way our body moves, in the way we whisper when we don't even know why. The 13 bloodlines are not dead. They're walking around with grills and pain in their jaws, still dancing, still praying, still building, without even knowing they finished in a grid that started 30,000 years ago. You're listening to one of them right now. And if you feel this, you probably are one too. We rising, bloodline by bloodline, gate by gate, breath by breath. The 13 are waking up, and this time we remember who we are. All right. That being said, is why when y'all be saying stupid shit, they weren't Moors, they weren't Indian. All right, bro, I ain't gonna lie, for all the names we use are some bullshit, but we gotta understand the names. And I can't spend 10 minutes doing a translation every fucking time. You feel me? So yeah, man. Y'all stop trying to correct me, man. I know what I'm doing. Gotta build a consensus, my nigga. Alright. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. I really I appreciate y'all being on this journey with me, man. We finna fuck the game up, shit. So, and to the old people who mad about that post, I'm sorry. I had to say it, and I'm still not reading all that shit.
Yeah. And like I said, the other stuff I didn't really go looking up. That just came across my FYP. This I went to go look up after I seen it the first time. Like I was like, yeah, I want to know more about that. Like, let's get to the history behind this and just wow, man. Wow. If any of these claims turn out to be true in any way, shape, or form, it will rewrite history for sure. This is the thing that, like, I don't know. So if this turns out to be true, crazy. I can honestly say that I can believe it because, like I say in most of my videos, black people was the first people on this earth. So I can see this very much being true. I can very much see this being true. Shit, some of these videos that people are showing, like the historical accuracy behind it and the paintings and shit behind it, how can we not say that this is true? Like, we gotta call it what it is. This has to be true. But hey, I'm gonna keep looking up more into this. Got a couple more videos coming on this. Like I said, it's probably gonna be like a 4-part series of just this for a while. So yeah, I got more of this coming. So just stay tuned. Remember, I'm your boy Azrael. This has been Azrael Reacts, and I'll check you guys next time. Deuces.